Hi guys, the far right have already moved on from stopping the boats to something much more sinister. Remigration. Now this is the mass deportation or the promotion of voluntary removal of non-white migrants and their descendants to other countries. We're talking about people who have been born in countries like the UK, but whose parents or even grandparents migrated from outside Europe. It's a fringe position at the moment, but of course it was pushed by TalkTV in an indirect way. And who was asked about it? Well, none other than Nigel Farage, although he didn't seem to take the bait. Have a listen.
We can go on about the French. I mean, it's extraordinary that we've given them 800 million now since 2014. And looking at Rachel Reeves's statement during the week, there's hundreds more millions going to the French. We can blame the French all we want. It's our fault. It's our problem. We are the soft touch.
But we still have a problem. Even if we manage to start intercepting and stopping the boats, we've still got a problem of people who've come here illegally already, very likely, no doubt, to be granted asylum in our ridiculous system, soon to be dispersed in multiple occupancy residences around the country. And even if you just look at people who are here anyway, people who've been born in this country, perhaps, people who might be third or fourth generation immigrants, you have balkanised communities who don't share our values, who don't speak our language. In fact, they're more often than not the ones who are forming rape gangs, not people who got off a boat yesterday. So how do we tackle that particular issue? Yeah. The general public are as worried about that as they are about the boats. And it seems to me that you're going to have to put forward a very radical slate of policies to even begin to touch the sides. Have you got the courage and the conviction to do that?
Well, you're right. And I mean, look, massive announcement this week from Rachel Reeves, 39 billion over the next few years to go into social housing projects. Who are those social houses for? Because in London, 70% of social housing has gone to foreign-born people. So we have to have a radical change of entitlements, who is able to access the benefit system. But you're right about the existing problem, and that takes us neatly back to Ballymena.
Okay, well, we're not going to talk about Ballymena because Farage wants to talk about that to benefit Nigel Farage. But I want to focus on this other point that Alex Phillips raised. What she's talking about here is remigration. She mentioned it. There are third or fourth generation migrants in Britain who she doesn't want. She wants them kicked out of the country. She wants them deported. Just think about this for a moment. These are British citizens. These are people who were born in Britain. She wants them deported to God knows where. Like, think about it. How do we get to a situation like this? You're talking about somebody who maybe migrated from Pakistan. They had kids in Britain. Those kids had kids in Britain. And the likes of Alex Phillips and maybe UKIP want those people deported back to Pakistan. People who have maybe never visited even Pakistan. The far right want them deported back to Pakistan. This is insane. This is not about small boats anymore. This is not even about people who are in the country so-called illegally. This is about deporting British citizens because certain individuals don't like the look of them. If somebody has been involved in crime, they are arrested and they're put in prison. They're not deported because they don't match what Alex Phillips considers British. But this is what's been pushed now. The far right have moved on from small boats and so-called illegal migration. They want to deport people. They want to deport British citizens, and they're trying to push Nigel Farage in that direction. You heard it here. She said, are you willing to have the courage to take on such radical positions? Farage, of course, distanced himself. He's not willing to do that at the moment because he knows it would be a terrible policy. His problem is with foreigners. His problem is with migrants, not so much with British citizens yet. That could change. But just think about it. This is what's happening. The far right are pushing such policies like remigration. And I recommend you read into it. Don't just take my word for it, but read into this concept of remigration. And it comes down to non-white people. The people pushing it are white, and they're pushing the idea that we need to get all these non-white people out of the country because they don't match our values. And it's not just happening in Britain, it's also happening, this position is being pushed in parts of Europe as well. But it needs to be called out Because if it's not, then it's going to filter down into the psyche, into the mentality of the public. And then you're going to have people like Nigel Farage seeing that and then pushing it himself. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.